Hello, and welcome to this video on your to-do list items. One of the things that will happen on March 5th is a rollout of the draft final designation on 60 forms within My Avatar. This allows you to save a form in draft. If you cannot complete it in that particular session, when you come back, you can access that draft form and you can complete it and finalize it. If you save a form in draft, you get a to-do list reminder indicating that you have to review a draft. Let me scroll over just a little bit, and you can see that I have these review draft progress notes, and then I have to review BVC that was in draft. Each time I save a form in draft, it's going to come here. If it's a final, it will not show here because there is nothing more you have to do with it. The system will set you that reminder only for draft forms that you need to come back and finish. Now, one of the things I want to point out, and I cannot stress this enough, is the fact that when you come in here to finish your draft form, you want to use the form column. Let me scroll so I can see a little bit more of my to-do list. Here, I'll undock the widget. When I do so, I can make the widget bigger. I'll drag the edges to make it larger. Normally, I would click on the maximize icon, but because I'm recording, I'm just going to go ahead and do it this way. The first column contains my client list. The next column is action, with a link to review a to-do item. It seems like, hey, I need to review this, so this would be the very first thing that I clicked, but it's not. I want to tell you why. If I use the action column and I click on the review to-do item, what it does is bring me to this review window. This is very similar to a task list in an application like Outlook. If I unflag an item, I'm indicating I'm done, and the item comes off my to-do list. However, I haven't actually completed the work. You can have those forms sitting out in My Avatar in draft status for way longer than they're supposed to per your company policies and procedures. If I click on the action item, I will get the review form. This form should be an indicator that, oops, I'm in the wrong spot. I do not want to take it off my to-do list this way. If you get to this point, don't click on Reviewed. Don't submit. I want to use the X, and I want to make sure that I close the form without saving any changes. Once I close the form, I'm back to my to-do list. Let me pull that back up. So what I really want to do is use this form column. When I click on the form name, and the system gives me any of those pop-ups for that client because I'm opening up that client's information, then I can go ahead and complete my documentation, making sure that I mark all things as final. I'm going to submit, and when I do so, the act of actually submitting as final takes that to-do list item off the to-do list. Let me go ahead and complete this. And so now, if I go back into my to-do list, you can see that the BVC draft note is now missing because it's completed. It's final. There's nothing more I need to do with it. To recap, the action item is not to be used for your draft forms. All it's going to do is take it off of your to-do list without you actually having completed the work. The proper way is through the form column. By completing the task, the item is removed from your to-do list. One of the things about that to-do list, and you're probably already familiar with it since you've been using the to-do list, is the fact that these column headers are sortable. What I can do is click on a heading and it will change the order either ascending or descending, depending on what the current order was. At this point, my column is A to Z. By clicking again, it will be Z to A. If I'm looking for a particular form that I need to finish, I can sort the forms column. My comments are sortable as well. I can even sort my note to self, and I can add notes. So let's say I have an inpatient assessment, and I'm waiting for a fax to come in from, let's say, CPS. Before I can complete that assessment form, I can make a note to myself that I'm waiting on paperwork. And now, when I click on Note to Self, it'll put all of my to-dos that have that note at the top. If I click it again, It'll put all my to-dos with notes at the bottom in alphabetical order. So that's our to-do list. Again, you can undock it to see the full list, and once you've undocked, you can move this anywhere on your screen and still be able to use my avatar. Then I can redock it, and I'm done. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next video.